All right, let's rock and roll. So who we have here with Lisa, all right, who has had bilateral partial knee replacements 10 weeks ago? 12 weeks? How long ago?
4 weeks.
4 weeks ago.
4.
Okay.
4.
No precautions? Okay, good.
Nope, to tolerance.
So tell us what's going on currently, what you're maybe unable to do.
I am unable to go up and down the stairs reciprocally, easily.
Okay.
I am unable to stand up and sit down without sharp pain as I'm standing up and sitting down.
Okay.
I lack full range of motion. Right worse than left. The right knee was the more involved knee.
Okay. Well, what have you done? You know TMR. What have you done in yourself TMR wise?
I've tried to do twists and arms to pull my turtle guy up. Pull the center of gravity up.
You're a good student. Yeah.
I'm not sure how to address the lack of range of motion.
Okay. So, you are going to show us, what do you want to start with that you're having difficulty with first?
Like the sit to stand?
Yeah, you want to see that.
Or you want to do the motions that I'm having trouble with?
Well, why don't we do the one that's the most maybe either annoying to you? Let's start with something.
Okay, so that's right knee flexion.
Okay, let's see it. So you're going to have to put down the webcam.
I'm sorry?
You're going to have to put down the webcam so that I can see it.
Put it down.
Like this, look. So I can see. There you go. So now, so get over there and show us your knee flexion.
Okay.
Let me clean that up, send it off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can just play with it. You mean move it again?
Yes, he's
Yeah, I can do that.
I'm going to sit in the wrong way.
Can you see that?
Yep.
I can actually see what you see.
So your left knee left knee flexion, you went right to it, so it must not be bad, huh?
Well, that's the one. Oh, the left one.
Yeah.
The left one is not full range, but it doesn't hurt like the right one does.
Okay, go ahead and put the right one down. Okay, put the right one back up. Okay, good.
There, you want to measure? Well, I want to measure Max own.
Oh, Max wants to measure.
Just so I can write it down.
No worries. No, yet. Knee to chest now.
Yeah.
1 second.
When he gets done there, bring a knee to chest.
I'm sorry, Tom, I couldn't hear you. What?
Knee to chest. Let me see how you do it. No, not with your hands, just actively. Do it again. Okay, now the other one. The hips seem pretty decent. Okay, good. Back down. All right, fair enough. Now let's get on the side of the. Let's sit up. Slide to the front so that you're on your feet are on the floor. And why don't you show me there you go. That's good. We're gonna do a one-legged sit to stand.
Oh, please.
So you're gonna put it at a height that you don't mind.
Right.
Okay.
You want shoes on?
I'm barefooted.
I'm sorry.
I said I don't have my shoes on. I'm barefooted, just in case.
Okay, what?
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't do that fast.
Okay, but you can do the left?
Yes.
Okay. Keep doing it. And if I wouldn't care if you had a chair that you were holding on to or touching. It's not you don't have to, but I don't mind. It's really about the motion itself. It's not about really the effort. It's about the body, the brain seeing it in action over and over and over again. And that's not hurting you, right? It might be like it's a weak leg. But
I would say there's just a little catch.
Okay, let's just see what it does.
And sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. It seems to be fading, but it does hurt a little bit.
So I'm seeing if, now typically I know you know that if we have a good and bad side, we use the good. Right now, you might say, oh, this is a bad side, but really when you do it at this height, it's not bad. So we're doing it just to see what it does to the other side. All right, and then we can come back and do some twisting and some arm raise or something to see if that changes it. The good side. But sometimes even after surgery, if you do the gooder side, the gooder side will become gooder, and the bad side will become better. And that's just what I'm banking on right here.
I guess that's where I got confused because I didn't have a gooder side. I didn't have a good side. They were both yucky. Because in TOTS TMR, we do yucky and yummy.
Right. Actually, I usually talk yucky and yummy now, even in my adult classes. I like it. People get that.
Now see that this is feeling better.
Yeah, see, and that's what I'm looking for. And sometimes people go, wait, that shouldn't feel better. I go, there's something about a surgery. She's 4 weeks post. We're doing it. We're just being cautious. She's at a very high height, so I'm not concerned about her over kind of doing it. Maybe I'm talking to her the whole time, seeing what she's going through. She knows the process. So you can stop right now, and we're going to decide what's happening with the other side now. If you'll move the chair out of the way, because we didn't use it before. No, in other words, we can't see.
Oh.
All right, so remember what the right one felt like. Let's see if the bad side's better.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
I actually can get up.
Your speed's good. Okay, good. Now, let's just say that was a 70. What would you call it? What would you call it now? That's pretty decent.
40.
Yeah, okay, good. So that's decent. Why don't we, Max, stop doing it. We don't treat that side. Max.
Oh, yeah.
Max, do you by any chance have a yardstick you can measure what height she's at?
I don't actually.
Do you have one of those tape measures that people have sometimes or anything like that? Or, hey, look, do you have anything that you can measure?
No, sorry. Yeah, my clinic, it's in transition. I don't think I have a measuring.
All right, so here's what you're gonna do.
That long.
You got any tape?
I have a tape measure in the car.
No, you're getting too specific. You got a piece of tape?
I do.
Okay, so she's gonna stand up alongside the table, or you're going to, and you're gonna take 2 pieces of tape. You're gonna put where it is right now, okay, and then you're gonna put it where she's going to, okay.
Okay.
Just so we get a height of the table, just so we know exactly. So when we keep putting these up and down to test, we have to make sure we're testing from the same height.
I gotcha.
That's all.
I gotcha.
All we're doing is making sure that when we come back here, there you go. Test that, or tape that right there. We'll come back and test from there, but we'll also test from the lower height and stuff too.
We're improvising.
We're improvising. We're going to look for a sticky so we can put the height there.
Sticky's good too. And then what you're going to do, Lisa, is you're going to lower it down 2 inches. Do it on the good side. We'll test it actually right there to see how the bad side is before we do it too, but not yet. Let's get the.
What do you want us to do there?
We're going to mark the line where the table is.
Come on, Vanny, you're not doing too good here. You're not quick enough for me.
Sorry. A lot of editing.
Okay, now go ahead. You got the idea where it is. Now put it down 2 inches-ish. Bottom of it. Why don't we do it at the bottom? There you go. Got it?
Is that it?
Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, good. Now test the right and the left side.
Okay.
Very hard. That's enough. We don't need to. We don't. Okay, now do the left side. Okay, good. Now use your chair and let's do some more lefts.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to speak as you're doing this. Now, guys, I learned this along the way when when they've had surgery that, hey, yes, she had both of them, but oftentimes you'll find a gooder one, and you can use the gooder one. It depends on as we're talking and as she's doing it, what she's communicating back to me. If she starts saying, you know what, my yummies, even though this isn't the perfect yummy, because I'm just trying to see whether just the motion itself, because she's got no precautions, typically they don't, and just seeing whether the good's getting gooder. All right, and then we'll see if the bad's getting better.
The good is getting gooder because that feels better. And look, I'm not having to.
See, as soon as it does it, and it's weird, and again, this is something that you wouldn't typically see or you understand early on, and it's just something that as I was talking to people and throwing things around, I go, this is kind of cool. And because you're stable, right, after a surgery like this, you are trying to flush things in and out. And, like I said, if there's a good and a bad side or a gooder side, it doesn't mean, it just seems to work. It's a good lesson for everybody.
And I have a question. I've never heard you say we were exercising too fatigued.
No, because I've since learned, we used to, and again, you do as many as you want, okay, where you don't mind doing it. I have found that it is better to put a patient at a number and a height they don't mind doing. Because then their body doesn't mind it, their mind doesn't mind it, there's no resistance to it. So if all of a sudden you said you minded it, I put it at a height you didn't mind doing it from. So there's times that people get exhausted, and the reason is they mind doing it from that height. So I'll put it up 5 inches, and I say, now sit down, try it again. Oh yeah, I don't mind that at all. Or I'll visualize it. So I am not trying to exhaust them. What I'm trying to do is get the motion through as much motion as we can, much end range as we can at the moment. And if they need to hold on and stuff to do that, that's fine too. So there's a couple different variations you can do. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Okay. All right, now, the reason that I'm doing 2 testings on the right, one at the lower blue sticky note and one at the higher, is because if this doesn't get better, you may say, oh, I'm no better, but we put it back up to the higher height, and you go, yeah, that's definitely better than it was even at the 40. So it's like a dual combo, but I already have a feeling you're going to be able to even do better on this side. So go ahead and retest your right side. Yeah. So you're not great, but again, you don't have to whoa to get up and stuff.
Right.
See how that is? And so that's what I find with surgeries, like bilateral hip replacements and knee surgeries, is I often can use them. I can use it. You can use it and stuff. And it works quite well. If you had only one of them, same thing we typically find out. Sometimes on the, is it a hip replacement or knee replacement? You'd have to test it. I find that, let's say you had one surgery, and the other one was not operated on. We actually find the surgery side leg raise is sometimes easier than the non-surgery one. And again, I'm not putting that as an asterisk, that's for everybody, but I have found that, which is kind of cool. So a lot of times you think the injured leg is the injured leg for all motions, and it is not. Okay? Deal?
I guess that's where I was getting hung up because I had 2 injured legs.
Yeah, because people think, and again, like I did share one thing that people typically don't know is that it seems to be when I, kept in communication with the patient, like yourself, as you're doing it, and making sure the good but not exactly perfect side isn't getting worse, and to make sure it's getting gooder, which yours was, which is exactly what I was looking for. All right, fair enough. So when you're ready, and again, you may be sore tomorrow. All right, I usually stop you at this height. All right, in other words, we'll do one more set, and then I say enough, and then we'll go to other parts of the body. Okay, and for you, we'll probably do one more body area. Okay.
Do you want me to lower it?
No, because you're still kind of off on that right side. You weren't totally where you were before.
Okay.
Max, do you have any questions about all this?
No, I'm good. I'm just observing. I'm learning. I have a little bit of experience with it, so I'm just kind of observing and soaking it all in.
Well, the really good thing to do, Max, is so if you go to tmrseminars.com and there's first 4 videos, watch those, and there's 10 below. You can literally try that on people, and then there's a free lesson that you can sign up for too. It gives you the concept. Now, what Lisa knows is the sequence and the series that you follow. Okay, no matter who comes through the door, it doesn't matter what condition. I mean, Lisa can tell you. Forget about orthopedic issues. They see much more elaborate things in kids and cerebral palsy, a lot of much more motor deficit disorders that also oftentimes are mental or what am I trying to say? They slow them down mentally too, And so if Lisa can see and tell you about kids that are getting better, it's almost dumbfounding how they are. So orthopedics really become simple. And they usually work a heck of a lot quicker.
Let me ask you something. Max and I talked about another system that he knows about that uses a series of motions like what we do in TMR. What is that?
Oh, the FMS?
Where they squatting?
Oh, yeah, the FMS screen, the different functional movement screen.
So I've talked about this in other videos too. So it's Greg Cook, right?
Yeah, okay. Selective functional movement assessment.
Yeah. So another video I have coming out too is that FMS is, so what I would say is this, is so let's say he's got whatever it is, 10 assessments you do. Now, and he's all about the whole kinematic chain, just like we are too. The thing is, let's say you're doing a one-legged, bending forward, touching your hand to the ground. If your pelvis got out of alignment with FMS, you would actually have the person hold it into alignment as they did their exercise. So you're actually taking something that goes out of asymmetry and putting it in symmetry as they do it. Okay? So you're actually kind of working into restriction. Strain or total motion release would actually do like a strain counter strain or positional release. Would say, well, look, it's compensating. Let's do the motion in the compensation, actually even exaggerate it more. So exaggerate the hip tilt even more as you do it and see what happens. And when you were if you were to test those, you would find out which one works faster. And what we have found, so I've done this with FMS instructor and stuff, and we did find this one to be faster. We did on both of ourselves each way, and we found it to be faster. We got a guy that just took the seminar this past weekend that actually did FMS on 160 people to find the result. And he said, wow, this is really cool. I could then just go over and do 160 people doing it with TMR. Again, two very doable ways, all right? But you'll learn as a pattern of over a group of people. Again, I want to say it, but you can experience it for yourself. The TMR will work faster. So. All right, so you've done it. Slide away the chair, and let's see what your right leg looks like.
Not as good that time.
Okay, put it back down, or go back down. And again, you sat there a while. And again, it can be that you're exhausted, to a degree, and because it's a recent injury, I realize, and that's why I said we're not going to do as much. Your body looks, oh, I'm tired. And it can be, you actually might sleep incredibly well tonight because you had some releases that happened. Yeah. So have you not been?
No.
Yeah, your whole body kind of took, I don't know whether you guys can see it now, this on camera. Whole body looks, I could go home now and take a nap. Does it feel that way?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a full body autonomic response of a really cool release that you just had, basically. All right, but let's raise it up to the top of the sticky note. And let's try the right side, which went from a 70 to a 40.
Tell me when I'm there.
I can't tell from here. I don't know whether you guys were shooting from the top or whether you're shooting from the bottom.
Right there.
There. Is that right?
Yeah, this is going to be easy for you, though. Go ahead.
Do the yucky side?
Yeah. That's
I can do it.
Yeah, that's easy crazy. Okay,
it doesn't hurt.
Now it did not. Yeah, see? And so there's the perfect, okay, stop. Don't keep doing it.
Oh, yeah.
There's the perfect,
I'm just fascinated with it.
Well, it'll start evening out, and you're going to notice that you're basically, and again, you're going to use your knee issues to fix themselves, but the gooder one. Okay? You're going to use your knees, your motions to fix themselves because, again, these are stable joints because you've had the surgery. Okay? So you should be good to go. That's why they don't give you precautions. But put the seat down, or put the seat down to below the sticky note again, and let's do twists just to see what they do. I'm interested actually. You know what? I'm gonna do twists and arm raise. So let's have you do arm raise, and I want you to put your Lisa. When you do it, you're gonna come right straight up, keep reaching to the ceiling, but I want you to literally touch the side of your face and slide it back as you do it. Like this one's stiff on me right now, where this one goes back further.
Okay.
It just makes, Max, what this does is it makes you really, you don't need a mirror or anything like that, and they really start feeling where they're restricted. Okay, good. Now, when she treats, she doesn't have to test. She doesn't have to treat it in that position. But this really gives us an idea. Touch your head, though. Okay, left side easier?
Yes.
Okay, good. So let's do the left-sided arm raise.
Okay.
All right, we'll start with just doing reps. Really take a second or two, really get into that end range, pull to the ceiling, push, push to the ceiling and back. All right, let's do 2 sets of 20, and then we'll retest what that does to, now, okay, go up, 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 back, 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 up, 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 back. All right, so those of you watching this, it's really about going up, 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 back, back, back. It's really what we found, it was the end range. We used to push against people, and it got exhausting by the end of the day. And I don't know whether you remember in school, they used to tell you about the first third of your motion, like you're doing leg extensions, is weaker, then it's stronger for the next third, or wouldn't be 2/3, a quarter, and then a half of it, the distance, and then the last quarter is very weak. Well, we found if we go into end range as far as we can, we no longer had to do resistance against them, and they could do it at home all by themselves. And and you can make that arm be whatever you want. You don't have to touch your head with it, or let it go where it wants to go.
Go into flow.
Not quite yet. You could, because you know it. But. And what we'll do is we'll retest her right side, keeping it up against the head, because that's the way we tested the first time. We'll retest her right-sided sit to stand. And just to make sure that her left side didn't change and get any worse, but it actually got better, we'll also test that too. Just because you're in a different part of the body does not mean that it can't change anything. In other words, sometimes it makes it better, sometimes it makes it worse. And you guys that are only treating one area of the body to fix one area of the body are actually sometimes causing other issues elsewhere. And because you're not tracking multiple areas, you're actually putting another problem into the body. So what we want is the motion that makes everything better, and we want to get rid of the ones that show some discrepancy or some weird things going on. What are you at there, girl? You just keep. You just like doing them. So all right. So let's keep your head right by your head on sliding it. Don't pull it away, and let's see whether we're better than what we were. Nice. Good. Perfect. Beautiful. Okay, put it down. Now, let's, are we up high or down low? We're down low, right? Okay, good. Let's try your right side. Well, let's do your left side first. Okay?
Okay.
This gives you the left side. Go ahead and do your left side first. Make sure it's doing it.
Hold on. Oh! Yuck.
Okay, now, what that shows us, okay, now do the right side. Okay. How is that?
Didn't hurt, but it was harder to get up.
Okay, good. Now, what that can show you is an arm raise. Like, see, how often is she moving her arms during the day? So you're thinking that, I've got to protect the knees, and it's really this huge lever arm pulling throughout the whole system's fascia. That may be the thing that's really the problem with the knees. I don't know, right? So we're like trying to fix this thing, right? And we get these opposing things happening. Like that, you would have thought that should work. And I can never tell you what's going to happen, right? It's your body that's going to respond the way it's going to respond. Okay, now, we can do a couple things here. Rule number 3 says if it gets worse, do it again just to see if it was a fluke. Okay? So why don't you do it again? Let's just see if it was a fluke. Okay? And we'll go from there. Are your feet on the floor?
They are on the floor.
Okay, good.
So I'm doing arm raise again?
Yeah. And why don't we just do arm raise. No flow, just keep it in place, okay? Because we did you started adding this flow component or giving a little bit more into it. And that could have done something. And I'm not saying it did. It may have helped or something, but let's just keep it regular. So guys, I never know what the result is going to be. I don't try to guess at it. I just do it. Her body will tell me whether it liked it or didn't, whether we're going to keep this one. Now we've always got to eventually go back to it, right? But it might not be the thing. It might be the thing that's making her knees worse, which kind of is a unique thing because it shows you how the cause of her knee pain may have been through a whole fascial component that wasn't looked
You know,
at.
but I have a question for you. The right knee was actually better, all right? And we're doing the left arm. So don't you think there's something about that diagonal?
If it plays out as such, then yes. If it doesn't play out as such, then no. And even if it makes it worse, it still means there's something about it, right? It's either making it better, it's keeping it the same, or it's making it worse. And we'll just see what it is, and we'll play and think about things from there. So the structure of TMR is easy. In other words, we do the Fab 6, and we take those Fab 6 into 6 other positions, right? The art of this is being able to do what I'm doing and watching with her right now, and that is what happens when things don't play out the way they should. All right? And I've seen it enough times, it doesn't worry about me. Okay, that's good enough, girl. Recheck the right side. Very nice. Ooh, very nice. Wow. Come on back down. So we didn't flow as much on that one. We just stayed kind of in place. All right, now recheck your left leg.
I had to put my foot down.
It's okay.
Can you see that? Oh, there. That was better. No foot down.
Sometimes it's just, that's all right. Now the right side.
Okay.
And sometimes just a light touch. That's not bad. Neither of them look
Did a
bad.
touchdown. No, that wasn't bad.
Yeah, neither of them look too bad. Your right side may actually be better than your left now, all right? Which is okay. Now do the left one more time. Again, and if you have to lightly touch it, that's okay. I don't mind that. We may come back tomorrow, or you may come back later tonight to do this and find out that your right side is now the good side, right? It might be, Joe, that your left side's just tired from what you were doing.
Well, I wonder. It kind of feels that way.
Okay, and that's fine. And don't hesitate. Don't worry about it. If tomorrow it's the other leg, it's the other leg.
Right.
You know that by now. Okay, you ready to do one last thing?
Sure.
All right. You're really going to see whether. This is what I usually find after surgeries. I don't usually try to be assertive or aggressive at all because they almost need that time. All right, but because we're on camera, I'm showing you as much as I can. All right, and tomorrow you can either decide to do less of it. And again, you may be very sore tomorrow, but you know, in order to get rid of soreness, test your body out. Whichever other makes you more sore, do what makes it better. So even sometimes the sore side could be the one that still moves better. All right, which you'll still use the one that moves better.
So you still use the one that moves better. You don't go on pain.
Sorry, I should say this. You use the one that you call gooder. Okay, so sometimes when you're doing the sore side, and then you go to the other one, you go, yeah, but it's still the good side. And you would use it.
Okay.
But sometimes the sore side is not the good side, it's the bad side. Just this way. Okay. All right, so let's do the twist for you, honey. Put your hands on your belly. Twist around as far as you can. Okay, now the other side. Oh, you're tight, both sides, aren't you?
I guess.
Sorry, I shouldn't ask you. I shouldn't say those things. Are you what? What do you? Which side's tighter?
To the right.
Okay, and
I don't know. Let me check.
Would you say you have full motion on both sides, or does it feel tight? Does it feel tight or stiff as you do these?
No, it's to the left. It's to the left. That's because I can push through the sensation. But there's more sensation to the left, and it feels more restricted in the lower thoracic lumbar area than it does to the right.
So the right side's yummy, left side's yucky. All right, go for it. Do the yummy. And I'm going to just talk to you. Think about turning just your shoulders now. Lead with your shoulders, okay? I'm going to talk you through something here. Lead with your shoulders, good. Come on back through. Come on back. Come on back this way. Sorry.
Oh,
good.
This way?
Yep, good. Do it again. 3 of them, leading with your shoulders. One more, last one. Okay, good. Come on back. Now lead with your chest and your mid-back.
Okay.
Let it be turning from there now. Whatever that means. All I'm doing is I'm making you focus on something different. That's all. Now turn with your belly button and your low back and stuff, whatever that means. It's just you leading from there.
That feels so different.
Yeah. Okay. Recheck just regular going to the left-hand side. Nice. How's that feel?
There was more sensation on the opposite side, probably more in upper thoracic, but.
Okay, so overall, is the left side easier to move towards or not?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now retest your leg. Retest your get up, sit to stand. Nice. Is that on one leg?
I had my foot down. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, that's better.
And do the right side. So nice. See the twist then. Okay, so the arm made it a little cloudy, didn't it?
Yeah.
The twist was much more absolute. Twist helped the twist, and twist helped the leg raise. Bingo. Deal?
Yeah.
Okay. You ready for the leg? You ready for the leg raise?
Oh, yeah. Can you see?
Yep. So right now we've got good ones with the sit to stands, and we've got good ones with the twist. We've got very clean ones, I should say, you know. Arm raise, maybe not, we'll do that right away kind of thing, but we can always keep going back and testing it and treating it. But for right now, we won't. So which one was harder?
Left.
Awesome. So let's do the right side.
Okay.
Max, any questions?
No, I'm just taking it all in.
This is not that it's tricky, but for those of you who are watching that have done TMR, I think this will be helpful to watch what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and getting communication back and forth from what she's saying and what her body's doing, and then making a determination on which are the best exercises for her. But she's also got the whole routine down, or getting close to the whole routine down, and you guys should too. So again, you'll see a little bit more of the structure, which is the process. You'll see also the art of this, a little bit more of the function, the things that I have to ask and talk about. And I don't get alarmed by anything that's occurring. And you guys, yes, I'm writing things down on the paper right now, but that form and the rules are absolutely vital. Absolutely the most important things that I'm using in my head to do. And if she was in front of me and a patient, she would be writing down, putting it on the form, tracking for herself. How many are you going to do, girl?
22.
Okay, good. All right, so let's it's usually on legs, it's like 2 sets of 10 or 12. So recheck the left side, leg raise. And again, whoa. All right,
yeah.
recheck your sit to stands.
Okay. Well,
And
can't do that.
Again, that might have been a fluke because, again, you're working that leg too, Like, you just got done working it, so it might be kind of weakish. So walk around for a second. Just walk around, shake it off.
Oh.
How does walking feel?
It feels weak. You're right. It feels jello-y.
Yeah. And so now recheck the sit. And again, so we could wait 2 minutes to get your body and your blood flow and everything back to normal, which would be putting it back to where it needs. But why don't we recheck the right? And again, I don't think too much about that because, again, you've had surgery, you've just worked it with the sit-down. But let's try the right side. Yeah, see, that's all it was. Cool?
Yeah, I mean, I did do a little touchdown.
Stop doing it. Oh, there's my dog. Okay, cool?
Yes.
All right, that is enough for you because you're only 4 weeks post.
Okay.
That's probably more than I would do on most. All right, so the takeaway, what was the takeaway as far as the exercises? Here, my dog's going nutty here. Hey, Ralphie. You want out? You need to go out? You need to go out? Timmy fell in a well. Did Timmy fall in the well? All right.
The takeaway is there is a gooder side.
Okay. So tell me right now. Let me take this takeaway. The exercises work very well for you. Which ones?
The sit to stand and the leg raise. No, the trunk twist.
The leg raise did too.
Well, it did. Yeah.
So
the arms was 4.
The arms were a little, iffy.
Cloudy.
Okay. Yeah. What'd you call it?
Cloudy.
Cloudy. I clouded that too. Okay. Good. All right. Good. Fair. Anything? Stop. I'll let you out in a second, dog. You're gonna drive me crazy till I do too.
As far as pushing range of motion and trying to get closer to 130.
Hey, hold this thought. I gotta let the dog out before he goes crazy.
Okay.
I'm gonna pause my video too.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back. So ask me that again, or tell me what you're saying. Something about 130.
Oh, I was wanting my knee flexion to be 130 on closer to 130 on both sides, and I don't want the right one to feel so asymmetrical, so different, so much worse than the left.
So, yes, and I did not pay attention as much to the goniometric measurement 130 degrees, laying it down each time. We could have done that after every 2 sets you did, or after sets you did. We could have done the sit to stand, right, and then laid you down and measured. Is that fair? We could have done that. So, for the next time, Max, you may want to do that. Okay, so not only are you retesting the sit to stand, but you also retest the thing, which you already showed that you have more range of motion functionally anyways right now. Okay.
Right.
But go ahead and lay down. Go ahead and lay down and let Max just test it. And again, sometimes at the end range, you're not ready to have full functioning end range for whatever reason, or more passive motion in that thing until your strength is there too. So, see, some people look at the passive motion and think that, hey, let's push and force this. And I say, no, let's get the strength and all back through the other ranges, and it'll gradually improve anyway.
Adding more?
Yeah, see, I don't like that. I don't like that whole pushing and doing what.
Well, see, I wondered about that.
I do not like that whole let's force it.
See, that was a question for you, is the whole pushing thing and pushing through the tightness and stuff.
Again, this is you're using something that you're not liking, and you're actually causing. To me, you're causing stuff that doesn't want to happen.
Say that again.
By forcing into that your body doesn't want, it's like taking a cut, which you definitely have had cuts, and saying, okay, I'm going to push it away and see how much extension you can get, even though the cut's still open, kind of thing, or the cut's still healing, the internal stuff's still healing. It just is, I don't know, kind of crazy in my mind. Just for the idea of this motion. I'd rather get you function, okay? And as you get more and more function, which means lowering that table, you're obviously going to get more and more flexion.
Okay. So. But is there a point where stretching into flexion, there's a point for me where stretching into flexion feels good, feels yummy, but then I push past that.
All right, so the only way you can determine it is you go into where it feels yummy, you do a sit to stand beforehand, you do what you said stretchy feels yummy, then you go back to the sit to stand after, same exact height, and see if it made you better or worse.
Okay.
Right? Because sometimes this stretch sensation feels different than what it does just hanging out. And people say, oh, I like to go into a stretch, but I said, well, would you be able to sleep there? And they'll say, no, not necessarily. I said, so is it a feel-good thing, or is it really not? Or is it just a different sensation than the achiness that you currently have?
Okay.
Right? So people say, oh, this is stretching. Oh, I got to stretch it. And I go, does that feel good? Like, would you want to hold it there forever? Oh, no, definitely not. I go, how about this one? Oh, yeah, I could hold that one there forever. Okay, good. That's a feel-good situation. This is just a different sensation than what you're used to having. But don't worry about what I say. Retest it afterwards, or whatever you're testing, to see if it made it better. It is not about what I say. It's not even about the opinion I have. It's about the result it produces based upon what happens.
Okay.
Cool.
So I don't see, this is hard for me because I guess because of the way I've thought about range of motion in the past. And so in my mind, I'm like, oh, I've got to have, 130 degrees. I've got to have 100. I've got to push this. And I need to stick more with my sit to stands and do my TMR motions and do the gooder side, and the range of motion will come.
If you want to validate to yourself what you're thinking from the old way, then validate it by doing what you just said. Stretch into something that doesn't feel good, and then retest to see now how your function and other motion is. And and you will see that it's not better. It may even be worse. So you'll see that I don't want you to remember what I said. If you're feeling like, oh gosh, I need to do this, I want you to set up an experiment that you can determine if it was good for your body.
Okay.
All right, and the good for the body is you go and stretch it the way you want to, then go back and try to do your sit to stand, and it'll be typically worse. And then if you just lay right back down and try to stretch again, the stretch didn't last. In other words, now you're back to maybe even a worse motion. Okay, because what happens is people aren't, like, they'll stretch, right? And if they paid attention to how big of an area it's making it painful and touched it all, and then went back and tried it again, they'll notice that oftentimes it's kind of worse. And the later in the day, it kind of gets worse. But again, I just like to know right then and there. I don't like to tell you, you had an idea and you thought, hey, I'm wondering that if I don't get it back, I've got to stretch to get it back. I got to stretch to get it back. All right? Well, if you're going to stretch the good one that doesn't hurt. Stretch the better one, see what happens to the bad one. Stretch the bad one, see what happens to the bad one. Right? Okay. So if you just want to talk about like laying back there, all right, and seeing whether you can get more motion, do it to the yummier side and see if the yummier side gets yummier, and if the yuckier side gets yuckier, just doing passive stretching or forceful stretching.
Okay. Forcible stretch, I like that wording. I have questions about the incisions and the scars.
Okay.
I don't like the way that it doesn't feel fluid like it did before, and it particularly bothers me that there's the incision right on the tibial tuberosity where the quads comes down and inserts, because I've been reading the train book, and I'm thinking about the fascia in there and stuff. So what do you do as far as not getting some mobility in incisions and scars?
All right, so here's what my mind's thinking right this second. How do I get you to test that your scar mobility is getting better? Okay, so if you wanted to do some friction stuff, right, just feel what it feels like and go over the other, see what it feels like. And then you wanted to massage or tissue work that. You can tissue to work the one that feels yucky and see whether tissue working into a direction makes it better. Or you can go to the yummy and see whether the yummy makes the yummy and the other one worse by doing tissue massage, believe it or not. Okay? Or you can just keep doing your exercises, and after each exercise, test the mobility that you have. All right? Because what you might learn is, hey, wow, I don't have to do all of the stuff that I'm thinking I have to. If the mobility, the thing that we're doing, like the sit to stand, makes it freer moving, well, why go and do all the tissue work if the motion is making it feel better? And I'm not going to tell you which one's going to make it more or not. We could absolutely test it on another time or something. But if you can, there's nothing wrong with that. Is it feel what it feels like? Maybe even the tenderness of it, right? Maybe you can touch it and go, oh, that's tender right there. Then you'll go do one of your motions and touch the tenderness again. All right? And you go, oh, yeah, that is working. So instead of doing 2 additional things, you won't have to because it's playing out within the improvement of motion. See, with the Anatomy Trains book, it's saying, as you go and do all this stuff, obviously you're realigning it, which is allowing less pull going on to the knees. The Anatomy Trains book really outlines what TMR does significantly. Again, Tom Myers still goes into treating into restriction, last I knew, where we're going to go into the function of phenomena.
Okay.
Where we're going to start with it.
I haven't gotten that far in the book.
Yeah, and again, I'm not saying that again, we start with the easier stuff, and then if rule 3 comes up, we go to the hard, go to the back to the restriction if needed.
Right.
Traditional therapy starts with the restriction. They don't know the rules, so they don't know to go over to the easier side. They just jump to a different exercise, or a different technique, and they jump all over the place. Okay? Cool?
Yes.
All right, so do that for about a week or two, then get back up with me, and we can do it again.